There's someone in your life right now who leaves you exhausted every single time you see them. You don't hate them. They haven't done anything dramatic enough to justify a blow up. But every time you hang up the phone, every time you leave that coffee date, you feel like someone opened a valve in your chest and drained something out. Your mood is worse, your energy is gone, and somehow you're the one who feels guilty for not wanting to see them again. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Not every toxic person in your life will give you a clear reason to cut them off. Some will just slowly, quietly drain you, and the absence of a big betrayal makes it feel like you don't have permission to leave. But you do. And in this video, I'm going to teach you a method to phase out an energy vampire so cleanly that there's no confrontation, no drama, and no guilt. They won't even realize what happened until you're already free. First, let me explain why traditional advice fails with energy vampires. Everyone says just set boundaries or have an honest conversation, and that works with reasonable people. But energy vampires are not reasonable people. If you sit them down and say, I feel like this friendship is draining me, one of two things happens. Either they explode into victimhood, I can't believe you'd say that to me after everything I've done, and now you're managing their emotions about the conversation about your emotions. Or they perform a temporary change, they're better for 2 weeks, they listen more, take less. And then slowly, imperceptibly, they slide right back. Because the behavior isn't a choice they're making, it's who they are. This is why I developed what I call the fade protocol. It's not ghosting. Ghosting is sudden and creates a vacuum that invites drama. The fade protocol is gradual, intentional, and virtually undetectable. It works in 4 stages. Stage 1, the availability shift. You don't cut them off. You become slightly less available. Right now, you probably respond to their texts within minutes. You say yes to plans reflexively. You initiate hangouts out of obligation. Starting today, you introduce friction. Not rudeness, friction. Your response time goes from minutes to hours. When they suggest plans, your answer becomes let me check and get back to you. And sometimes you don't get back to them. When they ask to call, you're in the middle of something. None of this is a lie. You are in the middle of something, it's called your life. You're just no longer interrupting it on demand. This stage works because energy vampires are sustained by access. They need to be able to reach you when the urge hits. When that access gets slightly harder, 2 things happen. First, they start looking for easier sources of energy. People who still pick up on the first ring. Second, the frequency of contact naturally decreases without any confrontation. You didn't build a wall, you just widened the moat. Stage 2. The depth reduction. This is the stage most people skip, and it's the most important one. You stop sharing personal information. When they ask how you're doing, you say, good, busy, instead of a 20-minute download about your week. When they probe, and they will, because your vulnerability is their fuel, you redirect. Enough about me. What's going on with you? This feels counterintuitive because you're giving them the floor. But here's the trick. You're not engaging with what they share. You listen passively. You say, that's tough, or I hear you. You don't problem solve. You don't absorb. You become emotionally Teflon. Nothing sticks. What this does is starve the dynamic of its core nutrient, your emotional investment. Energy vampires aren't just draining your time. They're draining your emotional depth. When you stop offering it, the relationship becomes a surface level interaction. And surface level interactions don't sustain vampires. They need marrow. You're only giving them skin. Stage 3, the social redistribution. While you're fading from the vampire, you simultaneously increase your investment in healthier relationships. You reach out to the friend you haven't called in months. You say yes to that group dinner you've been skipping. You start spending your social energy where it actually regenerates instead of depletes. This isn't just strategic, it's psychological armor. Because the biggest reason people stay stuck with energy vampires is the fear of being alone. You think, if I let go of this person, who do I have? The answer needs to already exist before you finish the fade. By the time the vampire notices you've pulled away, your life should already feel fuller without them. That fullness isn't for show. It's your proof to yourself that you never needed them. You just thought you did. Stage 4, the neutral exit. In most cases, stages 1 through 3 are enough. The vampire drifts. The connection thins to nothing. No fight, no explanation, just a natural, quiet dissolution. But sometimes they notice. Sometimes they push. Hey, I feel like we haven't hung out in forever. Is everything okay? And this is where you stay neutral. Not cold, not apologetic, neutral. Yeah, life's just been really busy. We should catch up sometime. You don't set a date. You don't overcommit. You leave the door open just enough that there's nothing to confront you, but you never actually walk through it again. If they push harder, If they demand an explanation, if they guilt trip, that's actually a gift because now they've shown you exactly why you're leaving. And you can simply say, I think we're just in different places right now. That sentence is unassailable. There's no argument against it. It's not an accusation, it's not a rejection, it's a weather report, and you can't fight the weather. Now, here's the part that goes deeper than strategy. I know why you've been keeping this person in your life. It's not because you enjoy the exhaustion, it's because you believe that being a good person means being available to everyone. That loyalty means endurance. That walking away from someone who hasn't technically wronged you makes you the bad guy. But I want you to consider something. Every hour you spend being drained by someone who doesn't fill you up is an hour stolen from someone who would. Every Sunday afternoon spent on a phone call that leaves you empty is a Sunday afternoon you could have spent with someone who makes you feel whole. You're not abandoning the vampire, you're choosing yourself. And the people in your life who truly matter, the ones who give as much as they take, they've been waiting for you to have the energy to show up for them. You just didn't have any left. Your move is this. Think of the person who came to mind the moment you clicked on this video. You already know who it is. This week, the next time they reach out, add 1 hour to your response time. That's it. 1 hour. You're not cutting them off. You're buying yourself 1 hour of peace. And that 1 hour is the first step of a fade that will quietly give you your life back. If you're ready to stop giving your energy to people who never recharge you, type, I choose my energy in the comments. Let me see how many of us are done running on empty for people who never notice our tank is dry. I'll see you in the next one.